only a few short hours ago, Clash in Italy from WWE finished, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the show. There were some matches that didn't quite deliver to the expectations that I had, but they weren't particularly bad matches. Some matches were absolutely fantastic, and yeah, overall I was very happy with the show. I very much enjoyed it. I think it didn't live up to all of the hype that I thought it had, but yeah, I think it's still going to go down as one of the better pay-per-views of the entire year. So, through this video, we're going to go through it match by match by match. I'm also going to give my predictions and some thoughts on the King and Queen of the Ring brackets as well, because I've got a few takes on that as well. So, a little bit of a 2-in-1, bit of Clash in Italy review and King and Queen of the Ring predictions as well. Easy for me to say, it is quite late over here now. But, yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Do subscribe. Thank you everybody for getting me over 1,000 subs over this week. I very much appreciate it. And yeah, let's get into the video. So we started off with Cody Rhodes successfully defending the WWE Championship against the Ring General Gunther in a match that was really good until the finish. And yeah, no, I very much enjoyed this match. It was kind of, again, just like the match at Crown Jewel, it was kind of a teaser of what we could get between Gunther and Cody if they really wanted to go for it. I feel like they did hold back a little bit, but I feel like at some point in the future, maybe a Night of Champions, we're going to see these two absolutely go in and have a properly good match and have the match that I think is expected of them as far as just absolute wrestling quality. But of course, we saw the controversial finish, which was Gunther's foot was under the rope. When the pin started, the pin should have never happened. And yeah, it felt like a bit of an abrupt finish. I was very confused at first, and yeah, no, it makes sense, you know, having a pin out of nowhere when we as the audience could see Gunther's foot was under the ropes, but the referee couldn't. It made perfect sense as far as like the way it was done. It was just a shame that it ended so abruptly, but yeah, other than that, I have no complaints over this one. And yeah, it was a good match until that part. It wasn't at all a bad match. It didn't ruin the match at all. It just feels like those two are holding back a bit. Following that, we had the one of the two WrestleMania rematches, which was Rhea Ripley successfully defending the WWE Women's Championship against Jade Cargill, and these two have got it on lock. I don't know what it is between these two, but they have clicked so well, gelled incredibly, and have fantastic chemistry together, where they have put on another fantastic match. And to a degree, where even my brother called it a great match, and he hates women's wrestling. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things where I was very happy with it. It got into my matches of the month, which you will be able to see not today. Well, this is going out in the UK like really early in the morning. It comes out tomorrow. It'll be the 2nd it comes out. So do look out for that. There's a lot of matches on it compared to usual, so do look out for it. But yeah, I thought this was fantastic. I think their match at WrestleMania was fantastic as well. So I'm really glad that Jade Cargill especially has found women that she can click with in the ring, with it being Rhea and Tiffany Stratton so far. I can imagine she's probably going to click with Bianca Belair if we ever get that match. Not that like Bianca's gone anywhere, obviously with her being pregnant. Sometimes people don't come back from pregnancies. I can't imagine that's going to be the case with Bianca Belair. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing when Bianca and Cargill do lock horns at some point. But yeah, very happy with the match. I don't think this is going to be the end of the feud though, unfortunately. SmackDown's women's division is so dead at the minute that it feels like Rhea doesn't really have another opponent for the women's championship that isn't like Jade Cargill. So I think maybe Rhea will face somebody else for the meantime, and then maybe they'll come back together for a match at SummerSlam. But I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, very happy with how this match went. Following that, we had Brock Lesnar defeat Obafemi, and I am not mad at all at this. I know some people are going to be livid. I've seen some people online are very upset with this one. And very simply put, I get it. You know, I expected Brock to win this one. I predicted him to win. And yeah, they're now one-on-one. They can have a rubber match. You have to assume that will be at SummerSlam. And that will be Brock's proper retirement in his hometown. And it all comes together really nicely. I feel like it does render the WrestleMania retirement really like random and unnecessary. But it is what it is. But the match itself, I thought it was okay. I can't really say it was good because it wasn't really much of a match. It was many F5s, a bit of offense from Oba, a little bit more offense from Brock, a table spot, more F5s, and then a finish. That essentially is what it was. And then there was a Kimura in there at times. Yeah, it's going to be hard to grade it when I do my match ratings. It was probably, as far as wrestling goes, the weakest match on the card, but it made the impact it was supposed to do. It brought people's investment back into this feud, even though it shouldn't have really gone anywhere since WrestleMania. And yeah, I'm curious to see what Obi does as far as King of the Ring goes, but we'll talk about that a little bit more later on in the video. But yeah, this all feels like it's leading to a rematch at SummerSlam, a rubber match at SummerSlam, and yeah, I look forward to see how that goes. But this match, I'll probably say, as far as wrestling goes, was better than the WrestleMania one, because there was only a few moves in the WrestleMania one. But yeah, this one, again, really, like, not great as far as a wrestling match goes, but great as far as a moment goes. Then after that, we had Sol Rucker defeat Becky Lynch in a fantastic match to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And yeah, I could have been more happy with the result. I'm a massive fan of Sol Rucker. I feel like she's going to do wonders for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, just like Becky has, just like Laura Valkyria has. And yeah, no, I was really happy with the match. I feel like all the wrestling that Sol Rucker does is just so smooth and transitionally really well that, yeah, it's going to be hard for people not to have a good match against Sol Rucker just based on what she does for the people that she's in the ring with alone. Becky Lynch is one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. She was never going to have a bad match here, I don't think. And yeah, we got the result that we needed. It then frees up Becky to maybe challenge for the Women's World Championship going forwards. It feels like, you know, with Liv having literally nobody challenge her for the Women's Championship, Becky feels like a good person to fill that void for the meantime. And yeah, no, as I said, it was one of the best matches on the card, in my opinion, if not the best match on the card. And yeah, I say if you haven't watched it, go and check it out. It's only on Netflix, of course. And yeah, I say real big highlight of the night for me. And yeah, I couldn't be happier with Sol as champion. And finally, in the main event, Roman Reigns successfully retained the World Heavyweight Championship and his status as Tribal Chief against Jacob Fatu in a tribal combat match. And yeah, I don't know, this wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be. I thought their match at Backlash was great. I would probably say their match at Backlash was better as well. This one, it just didn't click. But then the other tribal combat matches didn't click with me either, the one solo and the one with Jay. So I don't know whether it's just the stipulation or something, but it just doesn't feel that big. And I feel like if Roman's going to lose his status as Tribal Chief, it's going to be built up as such a bigger thing that I felt the entire time that Roman was just going to win, and I was not like just going to win in a way if he was just going to beat Fatu and that be it. I knew it was going to be a competitive match, but I couldn't see Roman losing it, therefore it kind of took away from the match a little bit for me. I found myself getting quite distracted at times as well. As I said, it wasn't a bad match at all, but yeah, it's just a case of, as I can't see Roman losing his status as Tribal Chief quite yet, it was always going to like have an impact on how I felt about the match. And yeah, I don't know, I really don't know, honestly, I know I keep saying I don't know, but I'm unsure what it is about this that just didn't click for me. I just didn't find it as enjoyable as I wanted to. And yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a shame on my part. Maybe people saw it differently that I didn't, absolutely loved it, in which case, fair enough to you guys. But I much preferred the other championship matches compared to this one. And yeah, I'm kind of hoping that they move away from Jacob and Roman for a little bit now. Maybe we revisit it on a later date. And yeah, Roman gets some new challenges, of course, what we saw on the post-show, because we had to watch it to see what the brackets were going to be for King and Queen of the Ring. He's called out people like Rose Keys and LA Knight, and he even mentioned Cody Rhodes, like, by calling out QB1. So hopefully not Cody. Cody and Roman should be left alone forever and ever and ever. And just, as my brother said not so long ago, you don't mess with perfection, so never do Roman and Cody again. But, you know, seeing Roman versus Royce is a fresh match that we've not seen. Roman and LA Knight, again, I feel like there's already great dynamic during the build to their Crown Jewel match, so having that go around again, I thought that would be really cool. And yeah, I'm sure there's other people that want to have a go at Roman, so yeah, I just want to see something new for him now as world champion. And obviously there's a bit of a debate over how much he's going to be around in June, but, you know, hopefully he'll be around for the majority, and then yeah, he can build to a good match maybe at Saturday Night's Main Event in July, or maybe we'll just build straight to SummerSlam, I'm not sure. So, as I kind of added on a little bit, if you see me looking over to one side, to this side a bit more, it's because I'm looking at the brackets for King and Queen of the Ring. I'm going to give you my predictions for the tournament. I won't do it round by round. I'm just going to talk about the bracket itself and then talk about who I think is going to win, even though I've got a feeling you guys know who I'm going to win based on the tournament that I put together a few days ago. But on the women's side, it's kind of a really, I don't know, personal preference really gets brought into this a lot because, you know, when you get people like Io and Roxanne in the same match, I mean, I really want Io to win that one. Raquel Rodriguez and Bayley are in the same match. I want Bayley to win, but I also really like Raquel Rodriguez. And JC Jane is in the same 4-way, and I kind of like JC Jane at the minute. But the 4-way that really stands out to me is Charlotte Flair versus Lyra Valkyria versus Sol Rucker versus Jade Cargill, because you would almost write off Lyra and Sol like straight away being in there with Jade and Charlotte, but I feel like those two might cost each other the match, which will then continue either their mini feud that they've got going on or involve itself into the feud with Rhea Ripley, and then Lyra or Sol could steal a win, which I feel like would be really good for them both. But the only issue I have with this tournament overall is the fact that the winner of this tournament gets a women's championship match on their brand. But Liv Morgan is in it. She is the current women's world champion. Now, I mean, they do specifically state the fact that it is for your brand's championship. And so I know some people said, I mean, okay, that's a lie. My brother mentioned how they might be setting up Rhea versus Liv for both titles. I don't think that's going to be the case, unfortunately, for him, I guess. No, he said he didn't want it, so fair enough. But for me, I would love to see Chelsea Green steal this match. I feel that'd be fantastic. But I think Becky is going to win the match by pinning Liv Morgan, and that gives Becky the right to a women's championship match, and then Becky loses to whoever in the semi-finals. I think that's where they're going with that one. As far as the men goes, I think the only side of the bracket I have an issue with is the left side, because Ober and Bron Breakker are on the same side, and I would have them as potential winners. Now, Ober versus Penta versus Hayes versus Solo, right, okay, this is the thing. You could say that Ober could absolutely run that and just go through, and that'd be it. But what if Brock were to get involved there and cost him the match? Or maybe even Heyman gets involved, distracts him by using Brock's music, which then distracts Ober, and then he loses but doesn't get pinned. I could see that happening, but that's very similar to what I'm saying with one of the women's 4-ways, about people kind of costing each other the match. Braun versus Trick versus Priest versus Dominic is full of history, I've noticed. Braun and Trick are two of the biggest people to come out of NXT in recent years. Dom and Damian Priest have a ton of history through the Judgment Day, but I can see Braun winning that one and going through. Rollins versus Evans versus Saints versus Talatonga. Talatonga is no way winning. Ricky Saints is no way winning. I think Seth Rollins gets that one absolutely. And then, yeah, I'd like to see Royce Keys get through the tournament, but I think they're going to put LA Knight through, and maybe LA Knight pins Jey Uso in a bit of a controversial moment. But as far as my overall winners for King and Queen of the Ring, I've stayed the same as the tournament I put together. I think Queen of the Ring, Io Sky gets the win. I think King of the Ring, Seth Rollins gets the win. So that is my review of Clash in Italy and my predictions for King, Queen of the Ring. Nice little duo there. I don't know how I'm going to put the thumbnail together now I'm thinking about it, but it is what it is. But yeah, do put down in the comments below what you thought of Clash in Italy and who you think is going to win King and Queen of the Ring. I'm very curious to see who people have got for the tournaments. And I'm curious to see what people's takes are on Clash in Italy, as there's a few matches that I felt like could have been a lot better but weren't, but a lot of matches that I weren't expecting to be so good but then were fantastic. So yeah, I'm curious to see what people have got to say, so do comment below. Once again, thank you very much to everybody that I got to 1k subs. It's a big milestone for the channel, and obviously we'll continue to the next milestone, whether that's 2,500 or not, or maybe 5,000. I don't know what the next milestone is. I just appreciate the fact that people actually want to watch these videos. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff coming on the channel. We've got the next episode of the retrospective, all about no, we don't, that was last week. Already on the channel, there is the next episode of the retrospective, and if you give me a second, I can quickly pull up the schedule on top of my screen. And oh, that is very bright indeed. Right, okay, so I have a sorry about that. So I have a video all about how Chelsea Green could turn babyface in a big way. That is coming out this weekend. I have the best matches of every WWE pay-per-view or PLE. That series is coming to an end. I've done all the way from 2024 to 2001. The next video for that is 2025. So that'll see that video series come to an end. But where one door shuts, another one opens. Coming up in a few weeks, I have the TWR 100 list, where I'm going to list off in individual videos, because, you know, I want to make my life just a little bit harder. 100 individual videos going through who my top 100 wrestlers are of all time / current. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, and we also have in a couple of days, like I said earlier, matches of the month. So do look out for that as well. Do go on to DKO Wrestling website, where you will find my matches of the month a little bit early and my wrestlers of the month as well. So do look out for that. There is a link to DKO Wrestling in the description, so do go and have a look at that. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you once again for the 1k subs, and I will see you in the next one.